Greetings, Warrior fans. I'm Mike Stetson, Sports Information Director. I want to thank you for joining us for another edition of the Warrior Weekly Show. This week we're talking track with Waldorf's star sprinter, Kaila Jackson. Kaila's been Athlete of the Week so many times, it's hard to count how many times she's been the NSAA Athlete of the Week. She was just honored again for setting a new record in the 200 outdoors. We sit down and talk with Kaila about going to nationals, all the success she's had this season, and where she sees herself and the rest of the Warrior track team going the rest of this spring. Now it's time for the Warrior Weekly Show. Greetings, fans. Today we're joined by junior Warrior sprinter Kaila Jackson, who's been rewriting the record books this year for the Warrior track team. Kaila, thanks you for joining us today. Tell me a little bit about how things are going. You just got off a nice weekend, track athlete of the week for the conference. I think that's the fourth time this year you've been named that, and another record. So things seem to be going pretty good in the outdoor season.
Yeah, for sure. I think I probably had a little bit of a slow start the last week, but I think right now it's just slowly just building on each other. Everything, like all the training's building up, and I'm getting all the results that I wanted, so I'm pretty happy about it.
The fastest woman in Waldorf history. You hold the records in the 60, the 200 indoor, the 100, the 200 outdoor, and then throw in a couple of relay records as well with some of your teammates. What's it like being having that kind of success? Did you think you were going to have that kind of success in college?
I had no idea that I was going to be like this. I honestly was just going with the flow. Like when I came into college, I just sort of was like, well, I get to do what I love still, and I'm happy that I still get to get education while I'm getting to run track and just whatever. I'll try my hardest, I guess. But this year, I think, sort of last year, in the middle of last year, I sort of flipped the switch. I flipped the switch with like my training and stuff, and realized that I could probably actually do something, and so.
You say you flipped the switch. What was it what's been different for you training wise that's led to nationals and records and all this stuff?
I definitely think it's the coaching staff. Coach Crinkle is very energetic, and she brings a lot of positive energy to practice every day. And so obviously she always talks about how you can build yourself to be greater, like do the little things to always like build yourself to be the greater athlete. So doing that, and also with Dom, our strength coach, he also pushes us very hard and makes sure that we are like prepared and all with like injuries, like pre-injury, like trying not to pre-injury stuff. But yeah, so I just think it's them, and yeah, just me, my mentality, I guess, changed. Don't really else know.
Have you always been into sprints? I know you do long jumps, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Was it always the shorter sprints? Was that always your thing?
Yeah, short sprints were always my thing. Well, actually, no. When I started in 7th grade, that was like my first year running track. Like that was like my first success I had was in like running the 400. And like now, like if you told me like to run a 400, I'd be like, I'll do it, but like not really. Like I don't really want to, but yeah, so I always thought, so when I came into high school running track, I was like, oh yeah, I'm a 400 runner for sure. And then like my high school coach was like, yeah, no, you are not a 400 runner. And so like he switched me to short sprints. So ever since high school, I've been a short sprinter and sort of stuck with that. So
now, people who follow track know that for short sprints, some people are really good at like 60 to 100.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, they get going at 100 and they're really strong at 200.
Yeah.
Is there a strength in the short sprints for you? Do you come out fast, or is it more of a late finish?
Honestly, for me, it is a little bit of a late finish. But we've been working on my start a lot more. So what happened in nationals was me actually perfecting my start. So that was probably one of the best starts that I've had since the whole season. So we're trying to been working on that. But for me, it's always my top speed is always faster than others or faster than like people coming out of blocks. So yeah, that's for me. But like the 200, it's more of just like give or take for me. It's just like trying to hold on to my top speed. So.
What was it like going to nationals? Was that had to be a lot of fun? First off, was that a big goal for you this year to make it to nationals?
Realistically, no. It was not even in my headspace when initially like when season started. For me, like my original goal was just breaking 8. So when the first meet, like everyone was like I already ran. I ran like an 8:01 or something like that, and everyone was like, Kaila, you need to change your goal. And I was like, well, I think that's still sort of realistic. And everyone's like, you're going to nationals. I was like, no, I think that's still sort of realistic. Like I think I'm just gonna keep my goal. So honestly, I didn't then start thinking about nationals until sort of that first week, second week of indoor. So I was like, well, maybe this is sort of realistic for me. So maybe I just have something to look for. Because realistically, for me, it was just placing for the 60 in our conference. So that was really my ultimate goal in the beginning. But it was a lot larger than that. It's coming towards the end of the season. So
it seemed to work well for you because it's like you didn't put any pressure on yourself, and then as success came your way, then it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
Talk about the outdoor season. I mean, you had such a success in the indoor season. Is it tough to switch from indoor to outdoor? Do you feel worn out by the time you get to outdoor?
Definitely don't feel worn out. You get a break as much as you can get in track, which is maybe like a few days. But you do get a break, and that break is maybe just a little like deloading of the volume work that you do. And just a little bit less, go a little bit lighter in lifting, or go up in lifting, and then like in track you go a little bit lighter in like the volume amount of work that you do. But honestly, it probably is a very big change because from the 60 to the 100, like always the first meet when you actually run your first 100, like you're exhausted because you've been running 60s for the past like almost 2 months. And so running from 60 to 100, you're like, man, that is so long. Like, am I have to fit it to the finish line yet? So that's probably the biggest change. Obviously, the 200 isn't too much of a change besides just less of a curve, which for others is pretty good, but for me, not so much because I'm a sort of a curve runner, but that's about it.
So how nice was it this past weekend? You win the 100 and the 200. You set the record again in the 200. It's got to be nice because, I mean, obviously improving on your times is going to be a record every time now, but it had to be nice to see the improvement outdoor and see that you're moving ahead.
Actually, as for my biggest goal probably for outdoor was to break 26. And so when I did that, I was like, I finally did it. Like, it was such a big goal, like, for me. So all throughout high school, I had never broken 26, and it's always been 26. Every time that I run, it's been 26, and I've just, like, been waiting, and I was like, and, like, Coach was repeatedly told me to, like, just wait, like, you're almost there. Like, I know you're going to get there. And so, obviously, that was super exciting, and very exciting because I do love outdoor, because even though you have, like, wind and you have other stuff factors that you can't control and rain and such, it's still just a fun environment because there's so many, like, the announcers are super excited and the sun's out and everything to encourage you to run fast. So.
You said you started in 7th grade. Were there other sports that you played, or was it always track?
Always track for me. I'm not very coordinated, so any other event, like long jump is sort of a stretch for me because they're like, I don't know how you jump because sometimes I'm just confused. So, but it's always been running for me. So.
Now, you come from Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. What was it that drew you to the Midwest and Waldorf?
Yeah, so originally I'm born and raised in Chicago, where I moved out there when I was 14. So I moved to Vegas when I was 14. So I always knew that I sort of wanted to come back to the Midwest because I love the Midwest, I love the people. And so basically every college that I applied to actually was in the Midwest. So I didn't even apply to anything on the West Coast. So, because I knew I did not want to be there, but the coaches during whatever I'm not sure what her name is, Kelsey Riggins, reached out to me my senior year of high school. I was super excited because I was like, this is the Midwest, like I get to run track, like I'm so excited, like so I was like, it's just more of everything that I was looking for. Like, it was a small town and it was the Midwest environment that I wanted, and I get to experience actually 4 seasons rather than just being hot all the time, because that's what Vegas is. And also I get to do what I love, like I said before.
So not quite the culture shock that somebody who's coming from the desert would expect. Oh, that's good. Talk about the rest of the season. I mean, you guys have a lot of meets going on this weekend, but you've got 3 or 4 meets before the conference championships. how much do you see yourself improving, and what are the goals now, since it
Yeah.
seems like you changed those as the season goes on?
Yeah, so obviously the goal for me right now is qualifying in the 100 for nationals, but also to our surprise, we're super excited. So for the first time since I've been here, I'm a junior now, so the first time I've been here, we have a very good 4x1. So our 4x1 is pretty should be in shape to qualify for nationals. And recently we just got accepted to the Drake Relays next week, so we'll be running there, so that's pretty exciting. And so probably just my overall goals is just probably as a team, we want to place really well. Like we are really close in indoor, so placing really well. We have more events and more scores that we can score during the conference meet. So we should be able to. Hopefully, we want to get that ring. So.
A lot about the team. How about for you personally? Where do you see yourself finishing this season up?
Hopefully, obviously, I would like to be conference champ in the 100. The 200 is just, I know, is not most necessarily my strength. So if I can do well in that, I would love to score points for the team for that in there. As well as just more of just, like I said, just scoring points. So long jump, I'd like to score points. 200, I like to score points. 4x1, I like to score points. Whatever I want, whatever coach puts me in, I want to score points in. And
That's a pretty good attitude for the
Yeah.
team, that it's not about you, it's about helping out the team.
Yeah.
So coach has got to love that.
yeah.
You get one more year. Do you have high expectations for your senior year, or not even thinking about that?
I think I sort of do have high expectations. Obviously, I finished pretty well for my first nationals, but since now that I know I have the capability of actually doing that and competing at such a high level, I would like to finish All-American probably for my senior year, like whatever it comes. But like I said, I'm not going to necessarily put any stressor on me, but just going to train as much as I can and just try to be the best athlete I could be. So.
Well, I appreciate it. Good luck this weekend. Thank you for taking time out. Fans, if you want to see the track team, they don't have any home meets, but in a couple of weeks, the first weekend in May, they'll be up at Mankato racing. Great chance to see them. And of course, you can follow the men and the women online and see how they're doing and cheer them on as they go for championships at the North Star Athletic Association meet. Appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the season, and we'll hope to see you at Nationals again this spring.
Definitely.